This is one of the many ingredients, and maybe one of the first, that was gentrified by white people basically because of a celebrity chef. Today it's on a lot of fine dining menus in the US, but it hasn't always been this exclusive, expensive ingredient. There are several varieties of abalone that are native to the west coast of what is now the United States. And in California, they were and are harvested by tribes like the Chumash, Pomo, and Ohlone up and down the coast. Back in the 17 and 1800s, white, European, and American fur trappers decimated the sea otter population, which is the natural predator for the abalone. So as the sea otter population went down, abalone populations skyrocketed. As immigrants started coming to California, white immigrants were mostly uninterested in abalone, but Chinese and Japanese immigrants, who already had a culture of eating the giant sea snail, saw this as a gold mine. Throughout the late 1800s and early 1900s, first Chinese and then Japanese immigrants started an incredibly successful export business. However,
not surprisingly, they would come up against tremendous racial animosity. In 1913, there were conversations about how do we do better fishing regulations? How do we conserve abalone? The solution that was picked by the legislature was just to ban abalone export. And the idea was to just exclude Japanese fishermen from being able to do their work.
And in a twist that is surprising to absolutely no one, once the Japanese export business was shut down, a ton of abalone was being fished and there was nowhere for it to go. In comes what some might call the first California celebrity chef, Ernest Doelter. He started serving abalone first in his restaurants in Monterey and then up in San Francisco. And his marketing campaign for this new food,
he had it on his business card that he was the discoverer of abalone as a white man's delicacy. He called himself the Abalone King, and he really set about making abalone his specialty and a prized food. When Ernest Doelter went up to San Francisco to work at the German restaurant, the Hofbrau, it so happened that right after the abalone fishery was shut down in California and he had to find a domestic market, the World's Fair of that time was happening in San Francisco. And so he and some Japanese fishermen decided to try to introduce abalone to the larger world through this exposition. And in particular, they called abalone the aristocrat univalve and tried to, make it a super Epicurean type of food.
And it worked.
He set up a restaurant on the Monterey Wharf just at the time that tourism was really starting to grow. In the Monterey area, there was the Del Monte Hotel. Cars were new, people were driving, and celebrities would come and tourists would come. And it became kind of a thing to go to Pop Ernest's restaurant on the Monterey Wharf to eat abalone made by this famous celebrity chef, the Abalone King.